Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Graham Stevens, aka TK, one half of Chapter 5 Films, and this is my podcast. Today is Monday, August 1st, and I gotta ask one question. Where the hell did the summer go? I just remember being a kid and like going through what seemed to be, an entire 12 months of school, to get out and enjoy summer. And it seemed like summer was a solid 6 months. But, now that I'm older and I'm out of school, it's just like it couldn't go by any faster. It's wild. But yeah, so this is my podcast. I have no name for this podcast. So if you got a funny and clever name, feel free to tweet me at TylerGSCVF, and you can tell me a funny name or say that you think I'm stupid or what have you. I want to hear it all because you people are such goddamn geniuses. Yeah. So pretty much this podcast is just gonna be about stuff that I'm doing in my life, stuff that I'm doing with Chapter 5, music stuff that I'm doing, and whatever I feel like talking about. I'm gonna start giving out tweets over the week, and I'm gonna you know kind of see what people think about certain things, and if anything piques my interest, I will talk about it on Mondays. Yeah. So, what's new? What's new with Chapter 5? Chapter 5 has been pretty stagnant as of this summer. I know a lot of people are still looking for the Euro trip episodes from last year. But because of the new job that I got, it was kind of difficult for me to sit down and actually start pumping those out. But I do have the next episode and the episode after that ready to go. So I'd say expect that by either by the second week of August. I'd say that the second one will be out, and then I'll probably put out one episode a month from then on. But yeah. Besides that, Dave and I are, we're working on these two new skits, essentially. They're going to be skit series. One is going to be called Hair Trigger Nigga, which I play a overly angry. Pretty much, I'm a young Bill Burr, but I'm a black dude, and he gets pissed off at tiny little things, from standing in line to people turning their turn signals on in the car and then not actually turning, but like stupid shit like that. And Dave is going to be playing a character called White Trash Willie. Essentially just some shitty white trash dude who just does everyday white trash things. Yeah. Um, as far as new stuff going on with Chapter 5, that's pretty much it. We're gonna start pumping out the Euro trip stuff, and we're gearing up for our second trip to Amsterdam. That's gonna be in February, I believe. So we're all super pumped about that. Dave and I are gonna be going down, and we're actually very interested in other people joining us. The more the merrier. So if you're listening to this and you know us personally, or you don't know us personally, or whatever, feel free to contact us about the dates and information and whatnot. And maybe you can come with us and enjoy the fantastic city that is Amsterdam. Also, a hilarious thing that I'm doing with Dave. Hold on. I've challenged Dave to see if he see who can learn the most Dutch, and by the time we go back to Amsterdam, because that's definitely something that we wanted to do but just totally didn't get around to. So I got the Duolingo app on my phone, and I've been practicing my Dutch. You know, and I'm good. I'm good at reading it. Kind of the phrases that Duolingo gives me is kind of bullshit, and it's a little more difficult than I would like to than I would like to admit. But slowly but surely. I can barely speak English, and I've been speaking English for 23 years or for 24 years. So I guess I can't. I gotta only expect so much of myself. Ah, yeah. Um, so anybody who watched our episode, our video on Anime Boston, um, we got our intern Java is actually no longer working with us. Turns out, he had some more important responsibilities, so he's no longer our shitty intern. But luckily, we have replaced him with a young man by the name of Rob. Hopefully, in the next convention that we do, or even possibly some of the skits that we might do, we're gonna bring him out so you guys can see him. He's a young, smart guy. He's really musically talented. I'm probably gonna end up doing a couple episodes of artistic expression with him. But yeah, and I'm just excited to have people involved with the whole thing. So a couple weeks ago, I was tweeting about Chapter 5 and things that we're doing and whatnot, and like Twitter is, I was hashtagging amateur filmmaking and this, that, and the third, and some people were asking me on Twitter. They were like, oh, what are you doing? Like, what's the point? Like, what is this bullshit? Da 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 da. This, that, and the third. So I guess Chapter 5 is missing a mission statement. So I guess I'll take this opportunity to do that. Chapter 5, in the end game, because obviously August 1st, 2016, it's not the end result yet. But Dave and I are looking to make Chapter 5 a production company. We're going to focus on a lot of different aspects, from making our own comedy skits to filming our own movies, and we want to move away from some of the 5, 10, 15-minute movies and maybe get into something like feature length wise, and maybe even throw some stuff into some film festivals. Because we're 1 for 1 on film festivals. When I was a senior in college, Dave and I worked on this movie called Rapture. I wrote it. It's essentially about a guy who he has a clone of himself, and he puts himself in the basement every day. And to get rid of all the frustration and bullshit that he has to deal with day in, day out, he goes downstairs and fights to the death with this copy of himself. So if you want to check that out, please do. It actually won Best Film on Campus Movie Fest in Salem, Massachusetts in 2015, I believe. It was 2015, and that was awesome. And that was a big thing for me. I don't really have. I never really thought of myself as much of a writer, but a lot of people came to me afterwards, and they definitely gave me a lot of pats on the back, like, wow, that's a good story, so hopefully I can use those skills and go forward and make something else. Excuse my pauses. I'm actually rolling some weed right now. Oi. But yeah, this podcast is really just about me talking about stuff, and like I said, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, and yeah. Anybody see that new Star Trek movie? Dave and I actually went ahead to go see it, and luckily I recorded our conversation before and after the the movie. So you know what? I'm gonna go and cut into that right now. Take a listen to Dave and I's initial thoughts on Star Trek Beyond. Right now we're going to see Star Trek, And,
Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah, is that like the subtitle?
Yeah, movies now in the past 10 years all have just, actually probably about 5 or 6 years, just have dumb fucking titles.
Yeah, you could have got away with calling Django Django. What the fuck was Django Unchained? It's almost sounds like that the parody shit. Like when you see Saturday Night Live or Comedy Central kind of spoof movie trailers. They have this really grandiose fucking thing, and at the end it's just like Marcus back from the dead. You know what I mean? Just something completely out of place and retarded.
It's more like the sequels and reboots just having Star Trek Beyond's not that bad of a name. You just don't know where it fits in terms of the chronology and all that shit.
Right.
But the new Bourne's just called Jason Bourne. Is that right?
Yeah.
You couldn't. What?
Yeah. That's.
You couldn't come up with something better than the name of the fucking character. The Bourne something, or.
The thing is, I actually have never seen a Bourne movie.
They're all fantastic except for the one.
Are they? Because they came out in a time where action movies were they were just pumping them out fucking nothing. That was this they were same time as Triple X and fucking the Vin Diesel fucking movie Riddick. That all came around the same kind of time, and they were just it was like a factory. The action factory was just pumping out fucking action movies left and right, and it was crazy. And they all seemed the same. And that was the same time with the Transporter and all that shit. So I was just you know what? There's a white guy. There's people after him. He's a badass. I get it.
No,
I didn't
I loved Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. Those are two awesome fucking movies.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Except the director's cut of Pitch Black sucks because they took out one of the best moments.
Pitch Black's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know about Pitch Black.
They try to turn the not bounty hunter, Johns I think his name was. They try to turn him into a straight up bad guy. Yeah. They took out the scene where in the unrated one or director's cut, whatever the fuck, Riddick just stabs him and leaves and that's it. Or no, they try to portray the white dude. I don't remember his fucking name. But he's a good actor. Trying to portray him just as a drug addict. And no, he's not going to give drugs to this guy to save him because he wants drugs. But in the full version of that movie, he's on drugs because Riddick stabbed him in the back and broke the shank off. And there's a piece of fucking shank still in his spine.
I remember that.
So he needs those. They took that out the last time I watched it. They took it out, and it affects everyone's character because no one wants Riddick to be a good guy. The whole point is that he's a
bad motherfucker. But the thing is, he's in the grand scheme of things, he's not the baddest of the bad.
And the last Riddick movie they made sucked dick.
The reboot of Pitch Black, you mean?
Yeah, that movie sucked dick.
I'm trying to think. Did I fucking see that movie?
Yeah, that's another one.
It was the dragons, right? Did they have the dragons?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just called Riddick.
Yeah,
another one of those shit names. I want a straight up sequel to Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, what happens? No, but that was supposed to be the thing. That was the sequel.
It is, but it's not.
It's just nah, dude. No, they explain it in that movie. Yeah, they explain it. They bring him. He go into the. It's not Targaryens. That's fucking games. What's the name of his people?
Necromancers.
No, those are the people he took over. All right, whatever. His race of people.
Oh, the Furians.
Furians. That was it. So he wanted to go to the Furian planet, and the dude, his second in command, tricked him, and they brought him to the planet, and they fucking left him there.
There were some good parts of that, but for the most part,
I'm pretty sure they tried to kill him, but they couldn't kill him. He killed everybody except the pilot, and the pilot dipped.
Yeah, but it's not the sequel that I wanted.
No, if there was this a sequel where he was in power of the necromancers and taking over planets and shit, that'd be fire. Has there ever been a straight antagonist movie like that?
There's been a few, but he's just an anti-hero.
But I'm talking true anti-hero. Deadpool's an anti-hero by definition, but he's still a hero.
Yeah, but not off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a few shining examples, but we're just too high to think about it. Yeah. I don't remember what our original point was because we're really high.
Our
Bourne movies. I think.
Is that what we were talking about?
And I went off on a tangent about Pitch Black. So, no, the original trilogy are all good. They're all highly watchable. It's Matt Damon, pretty much in his prime.
Yeah, but then, all right, you know,
Although he's still
I
good
slept
now,
on Matt
but-
Damon for a while, but, you know, seeing Elysium and fucking, you know, his little stint in House of Lies and The Martian, you know, I saw all those movies and, like, I've definitely started to come around because he's definitely good shit.
I've been on Matt Damon since Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah, he's in Saving Private Ryan. I forgot about that.
Dogma.
Ethan's also in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Dogma.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Fucking-
you're right.
God, I love Dogma.
Him and Ben Affleck in Dogma is a fantastic. And Chris Rock, ugh. I was actually listening to Neil Brennan and it's like Moshe Kasher, their podcast. It's called The Champs. You should go check that out if you haven't. But they had Tony Rock on, Chris Rock's brother, who's also a comedian.
God.
No, but he was mad funny. He was really funny, and he was like kind of like giving all this like cool little insight to Chris Rock.
So he's
But you know,
Charlie-
that's one of their
Charlie
early fucking podcasts. So you know, this is you know, I don't even know how long they've been doing it, but I just really started listening to shit. But you know, if you haven't heard that, go back and check that shit out. You know, whatever.
Listen to it on your jog.
Yeah.
Listen to a man
If
who
you-
doesn't jog on your jog.
Listen to me smoke pot on your jog.
Work out for me.
Yeah, that's the thing about Dave. Dave used to work out with me, and like he was seeing results, and he was feeling good, and like it was like nice and healthy. And then he did some shit trying to be a quote unquote nice person, hurt himself, and since then he refuses to go to the gym. What do you have to say for yourself, David?
Well, cake. No, I hate cake. So I can't even say cake till I die.
Yeah, exactly. Can you believe this man? How do you hate cake? What about cake do you not like?
I hate icing frosting.
I knew you were gonna say that. You hate the best part of cake.
Ugh.
All right, so do you like just dry cake? Do you like cake with like? Is
Sometimes, no,
is
there's-
frosting
it's
too
just-
sugary for you?
It's just a certain kind of frosting. Like the Betty Crocker shit in that plastic cup thing.
You hate that shit?
No, I love that shit.
That's just not real frosty. That's just
Yeah, I
sugar
know.
bullshit.
It's delicious. It's sugar paste with a little bit of color in it.
Yeah, it's fact.
But like, I just don't like thick icing. I like my fast amount of sugar and a slow burn, and not all at once. It's like drinking
on.
scotch. I've heard.
Yeah. Another funny thing about Dave, as far as anyone knows, he's 100% Irish. Doesn't drink.
Nope.
Want to explain why you don't drink?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Come on, man. I'll feature you more than once. You'll definitely You'll definitely let the
As
people
soon
know.
as somebody pieces it together and finds out, like, I'm the Zodiac Killer. Back in time.
Great movie.
The, we need to see Lights Out. And Don't Breathe.
Yeah, Lights Out aren't on DVD. Is that what you're saying?
No, Lights Out's in theaters.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If it's full, that's what we're saying.
Exactly.
What about Don't Breathe?
I don't think it's out yet.
If you don't know, Don't Breathe is this fucking...
It looks good.
Question. Would you be down to put this up as like a still on the YouTube page as well?
Yeah. That's what I
Just like a title and like, all right, cool.
That's how I watched the Bill Burr one.
Word. So yeah, I'll do that.
The Joe Rogan one's got video, but they got like a studio.
I need to draw a picture of you. So I'm gonna have a little cartoon.
Just use Odie to like.
No, it's gonna be you in that ridiculous beard.
Fair enough.
Goddamn.
I might have to buy a drink. I'm also probably gonna have to piss like 7 times during this fucking movie.
That's horrible.
I'm
Yo,
not looking forward to
give
that.
me the snacks.
All right.
I don't know if this is a dying art or not, but like, I don't know if people.
Sneak snacks in anymore?
Yeah. Straight up.
I haven't seen anyone be like, "Excuse me, you can't bring that in." But like, I wonder if those people still exist. Like the ones who actually give enough of a shit about.
But like, dude, I just paid $10 for a fucking movie ticket, so like,
Last
you can
time I
suck
went-
my dick.
Fucking 2 people cost me $25. Fucking $12.50 a ticket. A popcorn and a drink, $13.
Damn.
Like smalls. Did you fish? I have no idea why you guys like Swedish fish.
You don't like Swedish fish?
Hate them. Love Sour Patch Kids though.
Completely different candy. I don't even know why you would say that.
It's a gummy variant. It's like
Dude,
mine
that's-
with
that's
salt
sweet
on
and
it, no
sour.
sugar. God, I hope there's some food at my house.
Why? Because you got the munchies bad?
Because I haven't eaten today.
You probably won't. Steve will be like, you didn't get steak?
You didn't get fucking water?
Like,
Bet
that's
you-
hilarious.
Bet you he texted me during the movie, hey, you want some Andreas?
It's like, no, you prick.
Because I can't cook for myself.
Does he really not cook?
It doesn't matter.
All right, we're about to go into this movie, so we'll catch you later.
It was weird because it was a science mission, but it was a beautiful touch to have the original. 'Cause most of those people in the photo are dead. Although it's weird because the new Chekhov is dead and the old Chekhov is still alive in real life.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's a good touch though.
Yeah, so welcome back. Dave and I have just finished Star Trek Beyond. And, Dave, what are your overall thoughts of Star Trek Beyond?
I liked it. I was a little worried because of the director, but I thought he did a good job. All the shots were cool. The sets were beautiful.
Yeah, sets were crazy.
Sets were good. The costumes and stuff were great. Swerve with Idris,
Yeah.
which I thought was a cool touch. But my main issue is I always wanted Idris. This movie I was hoping would be,
Yeah, you wanted Klingons, right?
I wanted the Klingon War, which they still haven't really touched on. And I wanted Idris Elba to be the most badass fucking Klingon since Worf, basically.
Since white men were Klingons.
Yeah, but you could still actually have him play a Klingon in one of the next movies. It's all makeup anyway. Just be like, well, that guy sounds familiar.
They won't do that.
They won't do that.
So you liked it?
A few things I was hoping wouldn't happen happened.
What, the VHF?
No, I can skip over that. It's
Holy shit!
I do expect better writing.
Holy shit!
I do expect better writing out of a Star Trek movie.
VHF! The most useless of all acronyms. Very? There's no acronym with the word very in it. Very? Very? Very?
There's a few, not off the top of my head, but there's a few.
Very? Maybe extreme or just high, but very high frequencies. Oh my god, I wanted to bust
Was that what
out
they actually
laughing.
said? Very high frequency, or
Yeah.
was there like a whole
No.
nother
VHF, very high frequencies. That's exactly what that stupid ass acronym was supposed to mean in that movie. Which is kind of where I turned off. I was like, all right, this is retarded.
I glossed over that after they had I guess you'd have to say, like, the most bitchin' moment in Star Trek history. Riding in on a fucking rock ballad. Like, shit just exploding. I'm like, well, this is definitely
Yeah, so they have to find a specific song with the perfect frequency? Like what?
No, that song's just from the first movie, which I thought was a cool touch. But, like, that's definitely not the Star Trek I grew up with. The, oh yeah, so my two biggest problems were, one, some of the graphics were fucking terrible.
Like riding in on the bike?
Yeah, like, surprisingly bad, considering the first two in this series were beautiful. So...
Hold on.
Another drum.
So the graphics were shit.
Not all of the graphics, just some of them.
Which is retarded.
I'd say 80% of the graphics are great, and then but that 20, you're just sitting there going like, Jesus, like where did you guys rush these shots or?
Graphics were shit, or at least not all the graphics. Did you feel like it was a hastily put together movie?
No. I guess VHF stands for a specific frequency.
They said very high frequency, dude.
You know, but like VHF is, I guess, real. Like it's.
Is it very?
Yeah.
It's very?
Very high frequency. It's for between 156 and like 168 or something like that, or marine very high frequency anyway. Yeah.
Retarded.
Oh, actually, very high frequency range 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz.
Now look up that song and see if it's a VHF.
I guess they're just playing it at that range. I thought they were gonna go back with "Fight the Power," which I thought would have been badass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, she's about to lay the nice fucking beat on these dudes.
Would have been pretty horrible if they played like Drake or something, just like marketing.
I'm getting so thrilled.
Oh yeah, so besides some of the graphics, especially since the graphics in the trailer to the new TV series were just like amateur. I want to say they look like something a guy just made in his garage, like a fan film. But so that makes me worried that the Star Trek budget is either really low or people are just whipping shit out without making it look like.
Well, a lot of those fans are getting old.
Well, they're trying to get new fans and stuff. Plus, Star Trek's always been around, so there's.
I don't really think Star Trek in 2016 can compete with Star Wars.
I mean, they're two different.
Well, absolutely. They're two completely different universes, do different theories and whatnot. But like I'm just saying, as far as consumers now, I don't think that Star Trek has the appeal.
Well, they never did movie-wise, because Star Wars was always once every blue moon a movie would come out. Except now
Not
it's going to be
anymore.
once every fucking year.
Not anymore.
like-
You got so much Star Wars content between like the Clone
They-
Wars animated show and
Yeah,
you
well, I mean,
know,
Star Trek used to be that way, because like the Next Generation and all that stuff is still on TV every single day,
that's hilarious.
like every day. So the appeal's still there, especially with all these high-end sci-fi shows come out on like Netflix,
Right.
and the appeal for sci-fi is back. Especially Star Wars helps them out actually, but the movies aren't meant to be like Star Wars is gonna have to end. The episodes are at least in the next, was it 2 years? I mean, two movies.
Wait, they're gonna have to do what?
They're gonna have to. I'm assuming end this. I'm assuming this is a new trilogy,
Well, yeah.
and this arc will have to end in about 2 movies. Star Trek
Right.
is just supposed to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's more of a long-lasting appeal. Plus,
Is there no manuscript to the Star Wars universe, or are they making it up as they go?
No, there's the expanded universe, but they said none of that's canon anymore. So they're just kind of just winging it.
All right, so they're just making
So there
up.
could be
and
another
evolving.
like 8 fucking episodes for all I know. But at
Well,
some
Star
point,
Wars starts when?
like
Like, when did the Star Wars? Like, what was the first movie, and where did it take place?
it's like 70 something, and it takes place in a galaxy far, far away.
Long, long ago.
Yeah, there's
but it's
that's-
but
that's
it's before Luke and everything, or after, way after.
Yeah,
like, it's
this-
way into Luke's life.
This
right?
new one is 30 years after.
Have they gone further than that? Have they gone further in time in the Star Wars universe than that?
And for films, I don't believe so.
So,
I
like,
mean,
the
for,
movie
like,
that we just saw is
the latest you've seen. They've covered.
that's
further
the newest movie is the latest.
Yeah, they've covered further than that in books, but they've said none of that's
Okay.
none of that's canon. So like, this is as far as they've gotten. I think. Yeah.
And Rogue One's gonna be a splinter story that has nothing to do with
Rogue
the
One, I
original.
think, is before the first Luke movie, but after the last.
Before the
Anakin.
first reboot.
It's between the last prequel and the first original one.
All right, if you're listening to this, at one point I'm gonna sit down with Dave and he's gonna explain to me the actual chronological order of all these movies when he sits down and
And I don't
figures
like
it out
I
himself.
don't like Star Wars as much as I like Star Trek. Star
like
Trek,
you said, Star Trek's pretty linear and it's easy to follow as far as like
it used to
storyline
be.
goes. But like,
Before they went and fucked it up. By the way, Sulu's gay now.
yeah, I mean,
Like it's
did he get it
cool.
on with ladies beforehand,
they never really like.
or was he a non-sexualized character?
Meh. He has a daughter in one of the in Generations, but they just explained that here, or I guess adopted daughter with his partner. But I kind of agree with
It's actually artificial insemination.
yeah. I agree with Takei where he is like there's no reason to just hey Sulu's gay. It's literally just a one-off throwaway scene.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Sulu's gay. Yay! Like they're trying to be proud of finally having a gay character in Star Trek. You could have written a I don't want to say fabulous gay character, but you could have written.
Well, like at that point, people would be complaining, "Oh, you just shoot him in, to be a gay character."
Well, that's what they just did to Sulu.
Well, he was already a character, though. It didn't
Yeah,
matter.
that
if he
was
gay.
that was the other problem. Where it was just like he's been a character since the original series. I guess since it's an alternate timeline, but it's like so Nero gave Sulu the gay. You could have written a better character to have. Sulu's great, but it just felt cheap.
Ugh. All right.
But my main problem with the movie is I didn't want another fucking movie to end in a goddamn city. Like, and I thought it was cool that they destroyed the Enterprise, but then, spoiler, they just rebuild the Enterprise.
Yeah, right?
I would have fucking came in my pants if they had the original series Enterprise rebuilt. Like the ones from like Wrath of Khan, all that stuff, even like the ones after, which is just the refit. But like, if they came out with that model, updated, brand new, would have busted an orgasm, like nerdgasm.
All right.
But it's just the ship again, slightly different.
All right. Well, we're gonna have a discussion on Star Trek and Star Wars at a future date. So, Dave, pleasure as always.
Thank you. Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow.
What the hell's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Thursday or Wednesday.
You working?
Yep.
All right. Good, sir. Ooh, I just left a drink in the car. Tomorrow night? Nice.
Yeah.
We're starting races? All right, cool. Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler Graham Stevens, aka TK, and you are now tuned into a podcast that I have not named yet. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. Specifically, I listened to Neil Brennan and Moshe Kasher's podcast, and Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast as well. Just some cool comedians, and I decided, fuck it. These guys just sit around and ramble about shit, so I guess I could do the same. Shit's semi-interesting to me. My friend Dave and I, excuse me, I'm driving in my car right now. I'm about to go home. But I just went to see Star Trek with my man Dave, and take a listen to what we thought about this movie going into and leaving. Yeah, so that was me and Dave's discussion on on Star Trek Beyond. Honestly, as somebody who's looking pretty, newbie-ish to the whole game, I really didn't really have much to say about it besides it was kind of weird. But different strokes for different folks. So if you're a fan of Star Trek or space shit, it's a good looking movie. You should definitely, go and see it. But, if you're into a movie with some substance, it may not be the best fit for you. Movies coming out. I'm really fucking stoked for these new, these new age scary movies, where they're kind of taking a step away from the ghosts and the, killers and this, that, and the third, and they're putting people in real life scary situations. Like I'm really interested in seeing Lights Out I'm not 100% sure who directs that, and to be honest, I should be doing this podcast while I am at a computer and not driving around in my car smoking pot. But I digress. It's cool, because that's the kind of thing that I like about movies. When it can make, kind of make your stomach turn a little bit. You're like, oh wow, like I really feel this. I can really project myself into this character because this situation, as dramatized as it may be, is actually real, and that shit could happen. Yeah, but Don't Breathe, Lights Out, to Green Room. All a bunch of great movies, great scary movies that I'm very pumped to see. But besides that, like I said, I don't really have a name for this podcast as of right now. Kind of just figuring it out as I go along. But if you guys have any ideas, I'd love to hear it. You can tweet at me at TylerGSCVF on Twitter. Make sure to follow me and Chapter 5 on Instagram at Chapter V Films. And yeah, what else is happening? What's going on with music? Oh man, so I don't know if anybody listens to Designer, but Designer's like this, new age rapper. And I say new age because, they're all coming in droves nowadays. Yo, 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 yo. Yeah. So yeah, nothing too crazy happening around here for good old Tyler. Oh yeah, so this guy Designer, he's this new age rapper. Like I said, I don't really know where he's from, and I'm not sitting in front of a computer right now. But he's got this new record. He's the guy who sings Panda, 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 Panda. But I really, took a liking to him when I first heard him on, Kanye West's album, The Life of Pablo, and it's funny because, he sounds a lot like Future, and that's like, one of the biggest critics that he gets, in the industry as a whole, is that people are just like, oh yeah, and just another Future clone, and da-da-da-da, this and the third. But he put out this record called Timmy Turner this week, and, you can look on Twitter and see all of the funny reactions that hip-hop had to it, but I just think it was fucking hysterical, some of the things that people said. And I really think that, as music listeners, we all need to take a good look at what exactly we want out of the whole deal. Because, people will get upset. Like, I believe that, maybe Kendrick Lamar's music, you know what, Kendrick Lamar's music is 1,000 times more profound, than even the most in-depth Future record. But that doesn't make Future any less, inspirational than Kendrick Lamar, just because he's not talking about, Black Lives Matter or this, that, and the third. The fact that somebody can listen to, a Future song and, raise their head up and have, invoke a good emotion in them, whether it be they're getting, psyched, they're getting over some shit or what have you, I think that you shouldn't fault anybody on those kind of feelings if they feel the kind of music that they feel. So, let people live. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, on that note, I think I'm gonna sign off. Like I said, I don't really have a name of this podcast yet, but let's just we'll call it Pots and Frans right now. Yeah. All right. So until next week, it's been TK, and I'll see y'all on the flip. Yeah, so needless to say, I may have not been the most the biggest fan of that movie. Not to say it was a shit movie, but I didn't really like it that much. But yeah, I digress. Um, yeah. So what's new with music? What is new with music? What's new with music is this past weekend, DJ Khaled's new album just came out. I was thinking about doing a formal TK replay on it, but you know, I can't really get behind DJ albums so much. If anybody's listening to this, and you can explain to me what DJ Khaled does for work, and what exactly his effort is to be put into his newest album or any album. I would love to hear it, because as far as I'm concerned, DJ albums are, hey, I'm a DJ, not a producer, a DJ. Hey, I'm a DJ. I've made all these connections with all these hip hop artists, for the past X amount of years or months or what have you. And I want to buy a beat, and I'm going to pay you all to get on my beat, or this beat that I bought. And then I'm going to put out an album and slap my name on it and make the money off of, your talents. You know, it fucks me up because there's people like DJ Drama, and the cool thing about DJ Drama is that DJ Drama, has a fan base as a DJ, and before he was making albums and whatnot, he had his own thing. He had his own brand. The Gangsta Grills was his own thing. Like, he didn't necessarily produce tracks or rap on tracks, but his presence in Atlanta and being in those clubs and like having that club favorite, helped artists. It's like, oh, let me give this to Drama. He can like set it on fire in Atlanta, whether it be on the radio show or in the clubs or what have you. And then he kind of got into hosting mixtapes. The same kind of deal. He's kind of just giving his exposure to other people. Not to say that I don't think DJ Khaled's a DJ. I do, but I grew up with Drama, and I saw the work Drama put into the business as a whole. So I kind of look at DJ Khaled, and I'm a little bit confused because ever since we taken over, with Akon and Wayne and everybody, it just seems that like he does nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe somebody can school me on what exactly he does, but I'm just baffled. Yeah. So DJ Khaled's new album Major Key is out. Of the 14 records that are on it, I was really only interested in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 records. So you got the initial single For Free, the Drake record, which you'd think would have a lot more legs. That record didn't really do anything. It came out and like I listened to it for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, and then I was kind of just over it. Nobody was obsessed with it. It wasn't like a smash record for the summer or anything like that. So that was a little weird. And then I Got the Keys with Jay-Z and Future. Jay-Z kind of puts on at the second verse. The hook kind of sucks. It's like kind of your average shitty Future beat. Holy Key with Big Sean, Betty White, and Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick does that shit again where he kind of starts off his verse starting very very casual, and but he eventually gets really into it and he kills them. Let's see if I can pull that up. Hold up.
But lost all his patience. How you disintegrate into dust. Everything I trust may dishonor me in disgust. Come on. Everything is everything. Alpha Davis and wedding rings. Alpha blood on my higher horse. I report what it was.
See, now that's like a regular Kendrick kind of cadence, but you know you're used to Kendrick eating beats, so it was kind of weird until you heard him really go in. Hold up.
I do weapons work in my depth. The world is the fourth dimension. My family's in just us with violent speed. Some color my desire need. Grabbing oyster with gorgeous portions. I require thee. Fresh and poison. The boy is the reason you won't die in peace. Open door for my boy. Now they eating. We say finally. I destroy and divorce what you eating. Don't you hire me? Take recording my voices and tweak it. Let's play hide and seek. More distortion and forfeit this evening. You should try at least. I'm restoring the portrait of feasting. Nigga, I am beast. I don't.
Yeah. Much different, but it's the same verse. Yeah, that's a great record. You know, you got the new record, Do You Mind, with August Alsina and Nicki Minaj. Who the fuck else is on this record? It's Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, August Alsina, I think in Jeremiah, maybe? Yeah, and Jeremiah. Oh, and Future, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, and Rick Ross. Yeah, that's a stacked fucking record right there. Jeez. You know, I'm not the biggest Nicki fan, but, you know, I can't say. And a song that I just saw and I just listened to this morning for the first time, Tourist, with Travis Scott and Lil Wayne. I'm a huge Travis Scott fan. So, yeah. But other than that, you know, what else is new in music? That Timmy Turner record came out last week, and some people love it, some people hate it. I advise you to go and check out the Hot New Hip Hop article on it and kind of look at all the tweets that they captured from it, because the shit that some people were saying about it was hilarious. Yeah. Tyga put out a new album either last night or this morning. It's called Trap Pussy. You know, another thing. If people are listening to this and, you know, you've gotten this far into it, please know that this is something that I'm doing for, you know, my personal pleasure. I don't really consider this to be a business venture at all. So I won't be censoring myself. You know, I won't be, you know, doing what I think is gonna make 1,000 people listen. You know, I'm really just gonna talk about the stuff that, you know, interests me and the stuff that I'm focused on in my life right now. Yeah. So Ty got this new track, and I'm guessing that his hashtag Bitch I'm the Shit 2 mixtape is going to be coming soon. So I'll be very, very interested to see what that's like, because, you know, last time a lot of the hype based on that mixtape was his relationship with Jenner, and you know, especially with that video that came out. So I'm very excited to see how that goes, because I don't really know. Is he still dating? Is he still dating her? If you know, tweet that at me, and we'll see, you know, what's really happening. But besides that, you know, Tory Lanez dropped a new single for his albums called Flex. I listened to it this morning. Very, very good record. You know, as always, his singing is on point, and you know, Tory is a very underrated artist, and he's going to be massive. You know, when he catches wind, I think Say It was just the beginning. You know. And I think his fearlessness for going at Drake, not even going at Drake, but kind of declaring that like he wasn't going to back down from anything, was definitely something that I respected as somebody who, as a fan of the industry. What else is new? Gabe put out his Block Wars. Rapper Game from Los Angeles. He's working on a mobile app game, and the mobile app is going to have a soundtrack. He actually just released an album for his TV show, Streets of Compton. So Game's kind of on fire this year. He put out the documentary too. Oh. Hey, Mary, shut up. Mary, Hey, would you shush? Hold on. Barry, cut it out. My dog is adhering to stereotypes. She's barking at the mailman. um, oh gosh, what was it? Oh yeah, Game. Yeah, Game's had a crazy year. I'm pretty sure he dropped documentary 2 in 2016, but even if not, I don't really exactly remember when the date was. But he put out documentary 2, and then documentary 2.5, and then collaborated both of those albums into a deluxe album with 5 more tracks. So you're looking at about 40 tracks right there. And then he had a show on VH1 called Streets of Compton, where he kind of educates people to the inner workings of Mary. Damn it. Gosh. Poor mailman looked like he wanted to shit himself. All right, yeah. Long story short, god damn it, dog. Long story short, he's putting in work. He put out those 2 albums, which turned into 3 albums, and then after that, he kind of hosed right into the movie or the television show with the accompanying soundtrack. And now he has a mobile game coming out, which I can't wait for. It's called Block Wars. I'm assuming it's going to be like a GTA-esque kind of game. Atari, I believe, is producing the game, so it's definitely not going to be bullshit. I'd be very surprised if it was free. I would be very surprised if the thing was free. But he's talking a lot of shit. He's popping a lot of junk about about how it's going to be the illest game on the App Store, and it's going to kill it, and it's going to change the mobile game world forever. And the whole time, it's like, yeah, but like, Pokemon Go already did that shit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Seems a little weird to me. Yeah. But that's all I really give a shit about with music right now. Oh, yeah, that's not true. You guys kind of missed it, but I was tweeting the other day about the whole Joe Budden Drake thing, and I'm very curious as to what you guys think. So as far as the quote unquote beef is concerned, you got to look at Drake's beef with Meek Mill. So Meek Mill put out, I think he put out like 2 or 3 records, going at Drake after his initial response. And Drake put out Charged Up and Back to Back, and then that was done. The thing is, like, as far as the MCs in the industry, people unanimously looked at Charged Up, and they were like, yeah, that's super soft, whack, yada yada, this, that, and the third. But the cool thing was that he he took that energy and he put it all into Back to Back, which ended up being one of the most played records and one of the best beef records of all time. From the cover image, to the words that he was using, a lot of people, like, that was probably one of the best diss records of all time. Like, that's up there with 300 Bars of Running. Fucking, wow, drawing a huge blank right now. Holy shit. Hit 'em Up, thank you. Jeez, almost forgot Hit 'em Up. Yeah, but we don't see that enough in hip hop. But now I would like to add Joe Budden's track "Wake" to that, because Joe Budden. If you don't know the beef, and initially it started off with Joe Budden being on his podcast and saying, I like Drake, I'm friends with Drake, I like his music, but like, I don't think Views was as hard as it could have been. And Drake took that as shade, and kind of just started fucking with Joe a little bit. And as soon as that started, Joe being the dude that he is, Joe's a real MC. Joe's an old school MC, so he won't get on Twitter and talk reckless and this, that, and the third. Joe will just eat you on bars, and that's what he did. Joe has put out four records since then. Since the beginning of this beef to Drake's one verse. I don't know. I would like it if Drake kind of nutted up and put out a whole record about it. But I don't think. I think as far when he was looking at Meek, he was like, all right, well, I have more popularity and more skill than you. Because if you hate Drake or not, you hate his singing or you hate his radio records. As far as when Drake puts in bars, he puts in bars. It may not be the best bars ever. They may not be Pac or Biggie bars or Eminem bars or even old school Jay-Z bars, but he's got bars. He's got 2016 good rapper bars when he wants to. So I think in comparison, when he went at Meek, it was kind of like, yeah, how can I lose here? You know what I mean? I'm not only the most popular rapper in the world right now, but I do have the skill to go one-on-one with you and eat you alive. Which is why Meek very much lost that record or lost that beef. But with the case with Joe, it's like Joe he just spazzed on him. He put out Making a Murderer, and then he put out Wake, and then he put out Afraid, and after that he put out Just Because. So he put out 4 records, and if you listen to them, like I advise you listen to Making a Murderer and Wake specifically. I haven't really spent too much time listening to Afraid and Just Because, but I know that Wake was probably one of the hardest rap songs I heard this year. Like that song goes in. Like the beat's amazing, and the thing is, he takes a piece out of Drake's playbook, and when he actually released Wake, the cover art image. Let's see if I can pull it up. The cover art image is. Yeah, I don't know baseball enough. Yeah, I don't really know baseball enough, but it looks like a baseball fight. And the Toronto Blue Jays player is getting rocked out by somebody who I assume is he's wearing a red uniform and he's got a T on his hat. Um, I feel kind of shitty because, like I said, I'm not much of a baseball fan. I don't even know what team that is. But regardless, right out of Drake's book, with the cover art, and I think it was good. This is very interesting. But I definitely think Joe wins that beef. He's the better MC. He's gone on radio shows and discussed his side and Drake's side of it. We all know that Drake's not really one for interviews, but Joe's kind of just being 100 with it, and I very much appreciate that. So yeah. So that's really all that's going on new in music, at least music that I listen to. Boy, oh, I think I found out a name. I think I found out a name for this podcast. I was on a Wu-Tang name generator. Because if you don't know, that's how Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, came up with his rap moniker. He got it from a YouTube, or not a YouTube, a Wu-Tang Clan name generator. So I did the same, and so I came up with PestContender, which I have made my SoundCloud name. So if you want to follow me on SoundCloud and listen to some of my music, you can do that there. I'm PestContender, and it's 2 words, PESTY space CONTENDER, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this TK's PestContender podcast. Yeah, so this is episode 1. I don't really have a set format for this at all. I'm kind of just, babbling and shit. Yeah, I think I'm going to have, a couple people on every week. They'll talk to me about what's good with their lives and whatnot and shit like that and jazz. Yeah. Um, but yeah. So I love you all, and until next Monday, my friends, enjoy your week and keep it grinding.